Welcome to our discussion today on the convergence of traditional affiliate marketing and creator partnerships. My name is Olivia Savage, and I am delighted to be joined by these incredible industry experts here who are going to share their very broad perspectives on what we're seeing in the partnerships economy today. As Dave said in his keynote, we are seeing what used to be very siloed and distinct marketing channels start to converge and cross over, and these lines are becoming blurred. And so we want to explore why that's happening and how we can seize the opportunities therein. So as you can see, we have a very full panel today. So I'm going to forego introductions. You can see their names on the screens. You can look them up, follow them on social, LinkedIn, whatever, and just dive right into the good stuff. So Brittany, if it's okay, I'd like to start with you. From the perspective of a really big brand like Home Depot, I'm interested to know why you think we are seeing this convergence. We know what our perspective is as a platform. We saw it again in Dave's keynote, but I feel like you might have a little different bent on it. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a few things, right? So brands are super tuned into measurement. We know that content and creators drive a lot of brand awareness KPIs like engagements and impressions, but it's becoming increasingly important for us brands to be able to track that all the way through the funnel to see how it truly impacts our bottom line. So being able to unlock and track those site traffic or clicks as well as like sales has been really instrumental in the convergence. And then secondly, brands are really eager to understand audience behaviors. One of the major things that we love to work with is figuring out how our audience is interacting. Affiliate tactics are a great way to kind of partner with creators. They are so good at engaging them organically as well. So being able to incentivize them is a win-win on our side. We are able to help them diversify their streams of income, and then internally, we're able to, unlock a lot of audience behaviors that we wouldn't normally get, and then this winning combination just helps us refine some of our strategies with real-time audience feedback versus just relying on our merchandising priorities.
Absolutely, and that diversification is key. We like to kind of liken all of the different partnership channels to having like a diverse investment portfolio, right? So the more channels that you have running, the more opportunities you have, the more potential audiences you might be targeting, et cetera. So yeah, that's definitely a key thing to keep in mind. And Jessica, I know you started way back like as a blogger on the affiliate model and have blossomed into being a full-time, really broad content creator. And so I'm interested to know from your perspective, what are some of the benefits that you see working on actually like a performance-based, more affiliate-style model, as opposed to just sticking with, the flat fee influencer marketing type contracts?
Yeah, I think it's really important for creators to diversify their revenue, and so not be reliant just on sponsored or just on affiliate. Honestly, I used to be very reliant on affiliate before I was getting big sponsored deals. Now I'm getting six-figure sponsored deals all the time, but I can really grow faster when I find great affiliate partnerships. And so I think it's important to have both of those. And I think it's also important for brands to recognize that if you're doing an affiliate only model, you need to be paying well. So I need that affiliate payment to equal what I'm getting for a sponsored post. So that's what I'm kind of benchmarking everything on. So if I'm looking at an affiliate opportunity, and it's a 3% commission, well, I'm probably not going to make what I would make on a sponsored deal. So then I might be more interested in a hybrid model, or talking about maybe we do sponsored first and introduce it to the brand. That's getting you awareness, it's getting you content, and then we, move into an affiliate only model.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing to keep in mind is that for brands who are a little nervous about partnering with creators for the first time, affiliate can be a stepping stone. It can be an opportunity to see how the partnership works, give them a chance to earn, see if they're actually moving the needle for you. And if the partnership is really fruitful and you're happy, then you can pursue deeper relationships with those creators and start offering them more flat fees, more opportunities to earn more and more.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's really important too that when you're a brand evaluating a creator to work with, to not just look at their followers. A great quick example of this is I used to work with an impact partner, Zulily. Unfortunately, they're no longer around. But over the course of 3 years, I generated more than $2 million in revenue for them. And at the time, I had around 100,000 followers. Their number 2 affiliate had 3.5 million. So if you would look at us on paper, you would think, oh, I want to go just with that one. But all of my sales and curated things that I was doing far outperformed. So it's really important, I think, to dig a little deeper and listen when a creator reaches out to you and says, I have brand affinity for you. I'm interested in a partnership. What can we do together?
Absolutely. More followers does not equal more revenue or more conversions.
That's right.
Ever. So now let's flip the script. Amelia, I'm interested to know, you're at a huge agency, Acceleration Partners, and I'm interested to know, you've probably seen countless brand partnerships. What are some of the advantages that you see brands experiencing by using creators to operate on a more affiliate style partnership?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, just hearing some of the things that have been said already in terms of, brands being nervous to enter the creator space as part of affiliate. And then just even what Jessica was just saying. Jessica has 160,000 followers.
Almost 147.
Something like that.
It just went to 47 today.
And when we just met in the hallway, I said, are you willing to work on an affiliate model? Because I'm going to be knocking on your door. And she was like, yes, I'm happy to. And so I think when we think back to affiliate 10 years or so ago, when we thought about coupon, loyalty, deal, whatever, and then our content partners, they were bloggers, right? And dare I say, and I'm so sorry to all bloggers out there, but bloggers are kind of dead. They've re-identified themselves as, or rebranded themselves is probably a better word, as influencers, and they all moved over to Instagram and TikTok and so on and so forth. So if you're not moving over there, it's sort of like you're continuing to send a Christmas card to somebody who doesn't live at that address anymore. The bloggers are gone, they're on Instagram, and you need to be talking to them there and working with them there. And there are partners that are very impactful in terms of the scale that they can drive, that are actually willing to work on a hybrid affiliate model. Like Jessica said, you have to, of course, make it worth their while, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that we literally saw a budding partnership. As we were waiting to come backstage, they were talking about potential opportunities. So we know your perspective as far as working on affiliate. Caitlin, as our other creator here on stage, I'm interested to know what you think. What should brands, agencies, et cetera, kind of keep in mind if they are approaching a creator to collaborate on a performance-based model?
Yes, I think it's so important to make sure that the creator is a good fit for your brand. And I think an easy way to do that is really having a good relationship with your social media manager. Creators are constantly tagging brands. If you see a creator's tagging a brand 3-5 times in a month, maybe that's a creator that you move towards your affiliate model. Or what I always encourage people to do, those creators are often best for paid social media campaigns. And if for some reason budget is tight, I think it's really good to adopt a hybrid model where you do pay them that flat fee, because before we even had social media, we were paying for TV ads, that's hair, that's makeup, time for scripting. So creators will want to see that compensation, but it does get expensive when it comes to things like monthly usage rights, exclusivity. But I think when you have that competitive rate with an affiliate model, plus the flat fee, I think that's what really entices your creators. So I would really encourage brands to pay attention, really prioritize social listening. And I think that's where having that good relationship with your social media manager comes in handy. Another best practice I have is actually having a system for tracking these creators. So whether it's using a technology or some form to track the creators that are constantly being tagged by the brand, just so that you're able to tap into these creators at a later time. I think where the miss happens is the tracking. So I would encourage social media managers, the brands, to really make sure that they have that system in place.
And if you're working with an agency, I would just encourage you to consider working with more than one, because you're missing out on creators who are only working with, just Impact or just LTK or just Mavely. And so when you've got a cross section of those platforms, you're going to find more influencers.
Same with the creators. The more brands or more platforms that you are joining and have an active profile on, the more brands, because brands might have an exclusive deal with one platform. So you want to make sure that you have access to all opportunities out there, for sure. And Vanna, what do you think are some of the advantages of affiliate marketing for creators on platforms like TikTok that they should keep in mind when they are seeking partners, clients?
Yeah, I think our job is to be able to provide the platform so that both creators and affiliates as well as the brands, they can meet together and then they can experiment different things, right? So like a lot of the brand model, including ourselves, it's test, learn, and iterate. So TikTok Shop affiliate program, I think it's a perfect example of the holy grail, right? It's a platform where thousands and millions of brands are able to also meet millions and millions of creators all at once globally. And so you're able to go to a single platform, a single login. You can basically do all those things that you guys are talking about, both from the brand side, from the creator side, as well from agency side. And you're able to see all those metrics and experiment. So you can slice and dice and see what works, what doesn't work. And it's great. We also try to make it personable so that the brands actually can have direct connection with the creators if they wanted to.
Yeah, that direct connection is key. And TikTok is really pretty unique in that regard, that they are offering literal in-app affiliate marketing opportunities. You never have to click out. It's sticky. So now let's talk about some real world examples of seeing these things live out there. So Jessica, I know you've done countless affiliate partnerships as a creator. So tell us, if you can, think about a really successful affiliate campaign that you were working on. And if you can, identify for us why you think it was so successful.
Yeah, I'll talk about Target during the holidays. So 2 years ago, I was linking to Target with LTK, and they don't share a ton of data, and I did okay, not great, not terrible. The next year, I moved to promoting Target with their white label program, where they have bonusing. And if you take one thing away from this panel, it's to consider bonuses, because that is where creators are really oh, I like this gamification, and all of a sudden the 5 to 10% commission becomes 15 to 20, 25% commission. So Target has a really lucrative structure. Can I share what it is? It is, if you sell up to $100,000 in revenue, you get a $10,000 bonus every single month. Holiday, pretty easy to hit that. And so I massively increased the revenue that I made for my own business by promoting Target, because I was doing that gamification, taking advantage of that bonus. And so it was tremendous. And as someone who trains other influencers on how to be creators, or creators who are using affiliates, I had so many people in my course who were doing the same thing. And so what I would imagine is that Target saw an increase in the partners that were linking to them, in the volume of content that they were sharing. It's just a win-win. So that's one that just comes to mind immediately that I'm really proud of, and continued to get bonuses every month and promote Target way more than I would otherwise because of that bonus structure.
Absolutely, I fully agree. That is one of the biggest takeaways I think that everybody should squirrel away for their next campaign. The concept of bonuses I really love, also because it's a little bit more tangible. So I consider myself pretty math challenged. I'm not good in that regard. And if I think about looking at a scope of work or campaign proposal, and it's, 10 to 15% commission, or you make X number of sales or X dollar amount in sales and you get this chunk of money, that's just so much more tangible. And so I would say, if any of you out there are kind of struggling to find creator partners, you're getting ghosted, you're just like not kind of hooking them, think about how you are presenting your compensation, because it might actually be just, you know, a little tweak here and there to make it way more enticing, and it doesn't actually cost you more.
And incentivize creators to share your program as well. Very few programs actually do that, and I think it's a detriment to the programs, because I would have shared the Target program to even more people. I mean, I've been in this space for 18 years. I know a lot of creators, if they were gonna pay me either a % of sale or a flat rate for every creator that I brought them that did X amount of sales.
Yeah.
Could I just add a comment on this? I think the other thing I would say is, in addition to, you know, making sure that your incentive structure is something that looks kind of exciting and sexy, dare I say, to creators, I also would say, like, speak to them in their language. I was sharing with Olivia, you know, we had a brand that really wants to target Gen Z, and they're not an obvious fit for Gen Z in terms of just they've been around for a long time. Their target audience just skews, you know, millennials and Gen X. And we were, for a couple of months, we were sort of talking to Gen Z in that manner. And we were talking more about the brand than the creators when we were reaching out to them. Like, we weren't leading with what's in it for you. Yeah. We were leading with, you know, why should you work with us? We tweaked that. We made our messaging really kitschy. We made it really short and sweet. And we had been struggling to spend around $80,000 of budget over 6 months. We spent it in 3 weeks. Wow. Just from changing to a bonus structure, changing our messaging to, you know, be more relevant, and really listening to our audience, and changing the tone to match what the audience would want to hear. So definitely something to lean into for sure.
Yeah. So now I'm interested to hear about feasibility of this, right? Yeah. Like, some folks are a little more nimble than others. So Brittany, you know, with a huge brand like Home Depot, what do you think is the likelihood that if you came to your leadership and you were like, we want to implement a bonus structure if you don't already have one, what are some challenges maybe that you foresee, and how can folks maybe navigate around that to get the end result that they need?
Finance is always going to be a big challenge, but I love what you said, Jessica, about like building that brand like ethos and like that affinity for the brand. And that's what we're in the business of partnerships for. So if bonusing or the gamification of bonuses is what's going to keep you engaged with our brand and consistently talk about our brand and build a love for our brand, we're more in that versus one-off campaigns of you just doing X, Y, and Z for us for, you know, $45 or whatever. It's obviously more than that. But like, if we can get you to incentivize to like link to us all the time, organic mentions, you want to work with the Home Depot on pitching you a product or project, like that's what we're really into. And I think that helps us build a bigger business case to our finance to give us a little bit more money so we can start bonusing if we need to.
Yeah. Tiny Prints maybe 12 years ago did, I think, a really fun gamification during the holidays, and all it was every day if you posted a Tiny Prints link, it could literally be anything, you were entered into a drawing, and like one day it was for a free TV, I see you saying Matt, it was Matt McWilliams, he's so smart. One day it was like a Kindle Fire, you know, it wasn't anything big. I mean, a brand like yours could have like, not Tough Shed, but like different brands, you know, that you work with say, hey, do you want to be in our influencer giveaway for this month? And, you know, do it that way where, you know, you're kind of splitting how you do the finance. Like, there's other ways to do it besides the way I shared with Target, but I think I won 2 things that week. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I think another key thing is like, if you're able to dig up some data on like how and why you think this is going to work, you can cite this panel if you want, or, you know, I'm sure there's countless research out there about how to present that information. But I think we should dive in a little more into talking about data, KPIs, all that good stuff. So, Caitlin, aside from the obvious stats like sales, conversions, or followers, or whatever, what are some, you know, key performance metrics that you think both creators and brands should be keeping in mind when they are evaluating whether or not their creator program is thriving?
I love this question. I always tell brands as well as creators to pay attention to these 3 metrics. Number 1 being shares, number 2 being saves, and number 3 being comments. Each has a different goal. So when it comes to shares, especially if you're trying to target Gen Z, a lot of that conversation happens in the DMs. Or if you think TikTok, like sharing this new resource or product with your friends. I know for myself, I have a group chat with my mom. We like share hair products, we share financial tips, like everything goes in that group chat. So shares is a huge metric. If you think a platform like Instagram, what are people sharing to their Instagram stories? As a creator, I usually get DMs about certain questions. Maybe it's an outfit I'm wearing. That's where I'll share to my outfit and then link the product. So that's why I really encourage people to pay attention to that share metric, just because it's going to allow you to understand what type of creator is the best fit for a campaign. So if it's a creator that has a lot of shares, they'll probably be a creator that's really, really good for conversion or even brand awareness, but I would really focus on them for conversion because you'll probably also have insights into like their link clicks as well. And then when it comes to saves, this is a creator that people want to go back to. There's a lot of trust, so maybe they'd be good for a long-term partnership. When it comes to comments, I would say this creator is really good for brand awareness, starting that discussion. And then what you can do is go in and look at what are their comments actually saying. Are they complimenting? Are they asking them, what's the link? I'll have videos that are completely unrelated. I'll be talking about a personal finance concept. People ask me, where did you get your dress from? Where did you get your hair from? So those are the comments you really want to be paying attention to, especially if you're evaluating, is this a micro creator that would be really, really strong for an affiliate campaign? Would this be a creator that's good for a hybrid campaign that's a mix of flat fee and then affiliate commission? Or are they just good for an overall brand awareness campaign? Maybe we'll put them in a commercial or we'll just use them for paid media ads. So I really encourage you to pay attention to those metrics. And then for creators, it's really helpful because brands always have a wide array of options. Their agencies will present them options, but it's like, why should we choose this person over that person? But if you can come in having metrics like, hey, a place I really use a lot is Newly, for example. I'm like, hey, I've had like 5 DMs, I've had X number of followers convert to Newly because I've been wearing this product. It makes me a lot more appealing to work with that brand. SoFi is an impact.com brand that I worked with a lot. They used me for paid media ads all through 2023, and then they would use my campaigns for boosting and give me additional money for that. And I remember I was on the phone with Christy, just kind of, Christy's the CMO of Impact. I was telling her about this, and she was like, wait, like we have an affiliate program. So I asked SoFi about it, and they were like, yeah, we can make you a custom page. And I was like, wow, this is really amazing. So now in my link in bio, I have SoFi.com. People can go there, they can sign up. And it's really nice because my followers would sometimes send me the ads, and before there was really no way for me to make additional revenue, but now I can go back to SoFi and say, hey, like in addition to the flat fee, I would love to also incorporate the affiliate model as a hybrid. So I'd encourage you to pay attention to those key metrics and really work collaboratively with your creators to really optimize the affiliate model as well as the flat fee model.
Absolutely. I'm interested to know, Vanna, from your perspective at a big social media platform like TikTok, do you agree that those are the top metrics? Are there additional ones that you would recommend folks keep in mind and monitor to make sure that their programs are successful?
Yeah, I definitely say those are some of those key metrics that we provide in our business center. So essentially, it's really easy for brand to track and also has 100% transparency for the creators. I would also encourage both brands and creators to look at your cohesive, organic, and paid strategy, right? So essentially, if a creator is creating a content, if you see that's working and you want to boost it, utilizing the paid channel, and we're definitely here to help you track. So the Business Center is the one where you can track essentially your paid performance and how does that get your both organic and paid results so that you can have a higher ROI.
Yeah, I remember you also, when we were kind of preparing for this, talking about basically like segmenting your metrics. So like instead of just saying, okay, I have this campaign, I want to see this many shares, this many conversions, whatever, that you should actually set different metrics for each stage of the funnel. Yep. So that you have a better understanding of what is moving the needle and where there's opportunity, which I love that idea.
Yeah, I think the beauty of affiliate program or channel is that it's so versatile, right? It covers from brand awareness to consideration to conversions, and you can find different creators that do different things in different channels and use different measurement sticks to measure the effectiveness throughout the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, we are somehow running out of time. So I want to skip ahead a little bit and talk about opportunities and future trends. I feel like each of you has a really unique perspective. You're seeing the landscape from a unique lens. And so I'd love to just kind of like go down the line and have each of you just kind of say like, this is what I'm seeing and this is where I think things are going, or any big opportunities that folks should take home, put in their pocket, and use for their next campaign. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I definitely think like branded portals or some sort of self-service tool for creators is going to be really, really important in the future. Creators are experts at engaging their audience, and we just need to make it easier for them to be able to do that and create links to share so we can also track and get audience data like I mentioned before. But I definitely think making it easier for them to do their job is going to be helpful in the long run for our partnership together.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go next?
I would say having deep links is going to be increasingly important. That is not something that is true across the board, and I think that's necessary, and I think creators are really losing out on a lot of revenue because of that. And then you also said any other opportunities. If I'm a fit for you, please reach out to me after this panel.
Work. Amelia.
I think, I don't know if this is exactly an answer to the question, but I think this is an important one, so I'll say it. I think brands, historically when they entered the influencer space and started working with influencers, thought of it as, macro celebrity level influencers that cost $100,000. And I think brands have quickly realized that although that needs to be a part of your influencer strategy, it can't be the only strategy. And so at least within AP, what we're really seeing is sort of the convergence of not only affiliate and influencer, but just of the entire funnel, just playing a little bit more together. For the just massive brands that we're working on, we're making sure that we are supporting, the micro creators by making sure that there are incentives that micro creators are interested in, and then we're also making sure that we continue to find ways to work with macro creators and help them and help the brand make sure that they're actually driving the results and performance that they're looking for. So I think, if you're only playing in either of those spaces, you're probably missing out, and there's a way to strategically package it all up together and have a really, cohesive, impactful influencer strategy.
Yep. Absolutely. Vanna, what about you?
There's a lot of really smart marketers here, so I'll put some stats out there as you guys all like numbers. What we see is, first let me step back a little bit. So I sit on the TikTok for Business side. So TikTok, as you know, there's two sides of the arm. You have the user side, which is the entertainment platform, and then you have the TikTok for Business, which is the business side of monetization side of the things. So from there, essentially our app product platform as well as creator platform, essentially what we see is the power of creator, right? So we see 87% of the users who discover a brand is because it's from creator recommendation. So that's just, think about it, 87%. That's pretty powerful. So from there, I would encourage you guys to kind of explore our creator product a little bit. We have a couple solutions. One is our creator challenge. So this is 100% TikTok subsidized creator, like we basically pay creators to create creatives for the brand for free. So essentially it's out of our pocket for you to try our product. So look that up, and I'm here if you want to chat more about it. Another one is TikTok Creator Exchange. So it's basically an exchange platform to plug brands with either individual creators or creator agencies globally. So check that out as well. It's a very easy portal that you're able to track a lot of metrics like sentiment, what you mentioned, likes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Caitlin?
Yeah, I feel like I have two gems if we have time. So the first is I think we're going to see a lot of brands use a mix of macro creators and micro creators and be a bit more strategic. So think big launches like Fenty hair or topicals, for example, if you're familiar with those campaigns, or even a Tarte, which is a little bit controversial at times. So they might send their big macro creators on a brand trip, but then when it comes to working with micro creators, those are the ones that they're going to send products for gifting and maybe work with them on paid social media ads, because they drive a little bit more conversion rather than just like a spray all approach. So I think we're going to see a bit more brands getting a bit more strategic in terms of how they approach their creator strategy. The second thing that I think is a little bit under the radar, especially when it comes to Gen Z, they are craving in-person interactions, they are craving community. So I think we're actually going to see a lot more brands partner with creators that not only have their own community from being a creator, but might also have these like subsections of communities. I think a good example is her first 100K. She talks a lot about personal finance, works with women. She has a really strong affiliate partnership with SoFi. Like I mentioned before, SoFi uses the impact.com platform. So I think that would be a great case study to look at. I myself have my own women empowerment community. It's called Miss Empower Her. There's a great podcaster called Les Alfred. She has the Balanced Black Girl podcast. So she has her own platform, but then she has this highly engaged community from the podcast as well. So I think we're gonna see a lot more brands partnering with creators that not only have their personal brand, but also has an external community that's reflective, or I would say an extension of their personal brand.
Absolutely incredible. I can't thank you all enough for participating and sharing all of these incredible insights. And we have more that we didn't get to, so please come find us if you have any questions or would like to connect. Let's give them a hand. They're amazing women. Thank you so much.